Hey boys and girls, you're in my corner of the world. I am Safi, and this is your first time watching me, then hello. Welcome to the Safi channel, otherwise known as Naturally Safi. And today I wanted to talk about why I started my locks and why I don't trust going to see a loctician. Want, want, want. Yeah, most people have started at least getting their locks installed by going to see a loctician. Some may even still maintain by going to see a loctician, but I started my own locks and I will continue to maintain my own locks as long as the good Lord allows me. And I started my daughter's locks and I maintain her locks as long as the good Lord allows me to continue to do so. Then that's what we do on this side of the world and this corner of the planet. But let's get all into it, because I have had a lot of questions about, who started your locks, who maintains your locks. I've had a lot of questions about, a lot of people commenting saying, I couldn't do it. It's a lot of work. I don't know how you do it and how you maintain it. Do you know how to do repairs? And so we're going to talk about all of that stuff. So let's just go there. What made me start this video and do this video was because I have an article on my website. Link will be below. And on the website, I talked about, the decision to get locks and how some people have decided to DIY their journey. And I was the type of person, I initially was all for going to see someone, going to get my hair done, just at least going to get it established by a loctician. But I'm also the type of person that when I'm ready to do something, I'm ready to do it. And I don't wait for no one. So, when I initially, because this is my second set of locks, when I initially started, I had zero to no knowledge, and I just started putting locks in. They looked great, but you know what it was? I wasn't ready mentally at the time for the locks because I was still holding on to those memories of having loose natural hair. So I was like, this is not going to work. So I kept my locks in maybe 4 months, and then I cut all my hair off and went back to loose natural. I think probably about 2 years after making that decision, I decided, you know what, I really am ready. And so what I did was I really sat down and I really started doing the research that needed to be done. Excuse me. Drinking my pear nectar juice here with some strawberries in it. Summertime, I gotta go for those, non-alcoholic fruity drinks. That's what I like. But anyway, yeah, so I then decided, okay, I really want to do this and I want to do this permanently. So I really started doing the research that was involved in, starting a lock journey. And so what I did was, of course, I went online, but I went beyond just YouTube. I went to a lot of the different hair websites. I went to, a lot of the sister locking sites. I went to a lot of, I went and researched some locticians in my area, and I went on their pages, scoured through, social media. I did do some looking through YouTube as well, but that was like the last place that I looked. And I really decided that, you know what, I want to do this. I want to do this now. So I'm going to do it, the journey. I'm going to take on this journey. And so when I started, I said to myself, I said, God, give me the strength to be able to do this on my own and continue to maintain throughout the years. no needing to rely on anyone or anything. Being able to be proud of myself that I started this journey and continue to maintain this journey on my own. Not only was that a factor, but of course, I'm going to be honest with you, money was also a factor because I was looking at the prices of getting, sister locks done, traditional locks done, micro locks done. And at the time, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't know if I was going to do sister locks, But then again, I was like, I had my feelings about the sister lock community, and everybody's like this, and then the Nazis, if I decide that I'm going to go get them established, but then I don't go and continue to maintain my hair through a loctician, plus also, I knew that if I was to end up deciding to do them on my own, it wouldn't be considered sister locks because I don't have a sister lock certification. So I said, you know what? I want the look of sister locks, but I don't want necessarily sister locks itself. So I decided, and I knew I didn't want the traditional locks because I didn't want locks that size. I wanted to be able to have more versatility, almost like loose natural hair, to be able to style it, curl it, do different things if I wanted to, because I still like a little variety when it comes to my hair. Not so much now, then over 2.5 years ago. At that point, yes, I did. So I went and I did some more research on the methods of starting locks. I know I didn't want braid locks because I knew that it was going to take way, way, way too long, especially with my hair, for it to end up looking like locks, traditional locks. So I didn't want to go that route. Number 2, I didn't want to do just 2-strand twists because I knew my hair was going to go through an extreme amount of slippage, and I just didn't want to do that. So what I did was I studied and I learned how to interlock. What I did was I started in a small section and I just went through watching videos and I just interlocked. And I did a couple of different test interlocks until I really started getting comfortable with the tool, comfortable with the technique, comfortable with the rotations and how to do it and to maintain it from the top all the way down. Now, when I initially started locks, I started at the root and I went all the way to about midway, and then the rest was all loose natural because I still kind of was still holding on to the idea of loose natural hair and being able to have those curly ends almost looking like, a wash and go, but still having that really nice maintained, interlocked root. So I eventually ended up interlocking all the way down because I was like, you know what, I want them sealed all the way down. And I wasn't liking the two different looks as they were growing out. So anyway, yes, that's what I did. It took me 3 days to do so. 3 days to micro-lock my hair. So it took me a total 12, 24, 48. It took me a little over 3 days. So it took me about 60 hours to do my hair because I was very particular with the parting. I was very particular with the sizing, and I really wanted it to look as neat as possible. I'm going to see if I can insert a picture at some point of what they look like in the beginning. And in the beginning, I had brown hair. I had just came out of like a brown highlights era with my hair. And I didn't think about, oh, maybe I should color my hair black before I go and install these, I thought, oh, well, I could just color them along the way. And I did, but that wasn't necessarily the best decision. I should have really just, colored beforehand. But anyway, and then I continued to learn how to do proper rotations when it came to my hair. I wanted my hair to always have proper rotations, because I was seeing online and looking and seeing people with holes in their locks and things of that nature. So I was starting to get a few holes here and there from improper rotations. And so I was like, I'm not going to a loctician. I'm not going to a loctician. So I studied and learned how to repair those holes. I learned how to, fix broken locks within this time. And it feels so beautiful, this journey, being able to maintain it myself. I started my daughter's locks. I maintain her locks. Her locks are larger than mine, but her locks are beautiful. She loves them. She loves how they look. She loves how they feel. And I think that it's a beautiful thing when you do it yourself. Some people may not have the time to start their own locks and to maintain their locks. I will cut out a portion of my 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and just do it. And it's therapy for me. And I've gotten down to probably about 3 hours in doing it, but I won't see a loctician. I don't want anybody touching this hair that I started, because I don't want anybody getting in my hair and being critical about, oh, well, maybe you did this not 100% correct. Maybe you did that not 100% correct. I don't want that criticism, and I don't want that negativity in my hair. When I'm doing it, I feel my energy is positive, and when I do my daughter's hair, I feel a sense of accomplishment. I feel so happy that I was able to start her locks and continue to maintain her locks. So this is why I don't see a loctician. I don't trust a lot of people with my hair. I've never have. When I've gone to the hair salon, I've never really trusted people with my hair. And I don't want to, trust my hands to somebody else and give my money to somebody else, to do my hair, when I know I have the capable skills to do it myself. And it is bomb being able to know that you do it yourself. Sometimes it's tiring. Yes. I'm not going to say it's all rainbows and, daffodils and all that good stuff. No, it's a lot of work. But it's work that I am not afraid to do. This right here, let me show you, is a fresh retie. I just did this a couple days ago. My parts are not as, 100% perfect as they used to be, because the hair settled in, and I had hair growing outside locks, so I had to, put those back into locks. I've created a few locks, in the process. If you guys want a recount of how many locks I have, we can do that again on another video, because, I've lost some, I've gained some. And so, yeah, these are all my hair. If I have I reattached locks that were my hair already, that fell off, that I just reattached that lock. And I'm learning how to crochet using the crochet needle and all that. So this is a pretty recent retie. I struggle with areas with my edges, but I use my JSB oil to combat that. This is mine, 100%, no weave. This is my longest lock. Let me see. This is my longest lock, and it is touching my boob. It's touching my boob, touching my areola. It's touching my stuff. And yeah, this is it. This is it. But yeah, I don't want anybody, especially now that I am almost 3 years and 2.5 years over locked, and I'm not trusting anybody to touch my hair. Crazy. I'm going to keep doing it myself. Even after I had shoulder surgery, my mom was like, how are you going to take care of your hair by yourself? You know what? I just let it go a couple weeks without, retie. I found an alternate method. I just put my hair in twists, put the locks in twists, and just kept it moving made sure I washed it. You know, was this. I couldn't do a lot of this, but I was doing a lot of this and this, letting that water hit the scalp, put the oil on it. I was taking them in larger sections and putting them in twists, and I was wearing them in twists like that, and I maintained it that way until I was able to, you know, have the mobility enough to move this arm back up to doing the top of my head. I was in some areas retightening, like down at the bottom, the sides, and like right here in the front. But like up here was the area where I was having a hard time, because me getting my hand up here to retighten was the issue. But not anymore. Not anymore. I've been locked, you know, and I've been, you know, it's been since December 15th was my surgery, and it is now what? We're going into June, and so I'm feeling a lot better, so I'm able to maintain mine. My daughter's was easier to maintain because, you know, she could sit low. I could do hers while she sat low, so I wasn't really stretching my arm up, and so hers was easier to maintain than mine. Plus, she also went a couple weeks without that fresh retie, and that's okay. You can do that. I'm starting to learn to embrace, you know, a less retie. Look, I go anywhere between 6 and 8 weeks between reties, or I'll retie when I have an event that I have to go to, and that's it. Yep. But there you go. All right, guys, you got any questions? Got any more video suggestions you want me to do? Let me know down below. I will talk to you later.